I don't mean some random trends, just to be clear. I mean actual content that's also actually going to perform. Because finding content is easier, just scroll your For You page. But how to actually find content that even if you replicate it one by one, it's going to put a drastic leverage on your views. Meaning, the core problem you have, I'm just going to read through it quickly. I can send you the PDF and DMs if you ask me about it. But your problem is not creativity, but you need to actually know how to research. You need to know how to use data and how to actually reverse engineer. Let me quickly mark that. Reverse engineer what's already working and put it into your own system, right? So you don't have to guess, this sounds like a good idea. This could be a trend. No, you can actually look at the data. Now, the problems most agencies have is they just try to look for things based on feelings. They think, this trend, something about it looks cool, or this could be good for my creator, right? So it's random and it's not working with data. What you should do is the right research. And I'm going to show you how to do that, right? This is exactly how I do it. This is how all the agencies I work with do it. And it takes the guessing completely out of the equation. So how do we actually get that done? First phase takes you 30, 60 minutes, depending how you do it. You do it once per month, right? Let's assume for this video, by the way, you are working with a blonde creator with big tits. That's your creator. It doesn't matter how your creator looks, but for the example, okay. The first thing you're gonna do is find 10 to 15 other creators who are also blonde and have big tits, right? That have your same niche, your same branding, the overall same content that you do. 10 to 15 that are at least similar and have the similar follow accounts, same niche. You don't want to find accounts that have like millions of followers. It's not going to be like data. That's not going to be interesting to you. You want to find creators that are roughly 5 to 10 times bigger than yours at best, right? Out of those, quickly note down, 3 to 5 should be literally your level. 3 to 5 should be 5 to 10 times bigger than yours, and 3 to 5 should be similar but also going in a different direction. So blonde with big tits but they're in a gym, or blonde with big tits but they have tattoos. So they're still similar but there's some difference to what they're doing, if that makes sense. So you found them, put them in a tracking sheet, right? Their account name, how big they are, like how many followers they have, the niche, what they do, posting frequency, right? Track all of this. Trust me, it sounds boring, it is boring and it is annoying, but it brings results. Cool. Next up, diving deep and actually analyzing the content, right? So you go through all of their posts and you literally write down in your tracking sheet, what type of hook did they have? So you have, for all of these competitors, what type of hooks do they use? Okay, this one always jumps into the video. This one always pops up from above. This one always spills milk over her titties. You write all of this down. What made the people stop scrolling? If they had hooks, what were those hooks? Same with the format, what type it is. Same with how do they get people to engage or comment, right? What engagement method was it? Shout out to the other SOPs where I explained that. What was their caption? What text did they use? What tone, etc. pp. Also, how did they handle the aesthetics and the video length? How was the lighting? Is there depth behind the room? Are they in front of a white wall? What works? What doesn't work? You're just going to track all of this. I know it sounds boring, I know, but we're going to get to the cool part. Now you have all of these things documented. And the cool thing is, now you can actually go to the analysis point and say, okay, what type of hooks do I need to do in my niche? What works best? What doesn't work, right? If blonde with big tits, I could tell you, most of them, just in the first second, they let their titties bounce a bit. And that's a wonderful hook. Trust me. Every guy knows that's a fire hook. So you already figured that out. Cool. What video formats consistently get the highest engagement? Blonde with big tits, that's probably rage baiting. I'm going to go to the engagement methods in a sec. But you're going to know exactly what works in that niche. Out of the 100 videos that you've seen, there's 10 that always work. And you know them now, right? How do they get people to engage? What's the ideal length? Like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds plus. What aesthetics do blonde with big tits usually do? Now, that is probably light colors, white, bright colors. They don't usually wear black. Which, if you do that, your views go down. As dumb as it sounds, right? You learn that. When do they post? How often do they post? So you can write down the top 5 things that, to break it down, what needs to happen to go viral with my unique creator. And you can write down the top 5 most important things. Wear a top with a big cleavage, let her titties bounce in the beginning, have a text-based video, and record it outside. If you have this tracked as data, I guarantee you your views are going to have a 2 or 3x just by implementing this in your content plan.